She cheated, so I burned the bed. My wife Emily and I had what looked like a strong marriage, at least that's what I used to believe. We'd been together for 6 solid years, and from where I stood things were going great. Our chemistry was still there. We laughed. We connected. And when it came to intimacy, well, I thought we were on the same page. But turns out, I was wrong. And the way I found out, you're not gonna believe this, was through my nose. Yeah. I know how insane that sounds, but just hear me out. See, I'd caught COVID a while back. Like a lot of people, I lost my sense of smell completely. Everything just vanished, no scent of morning coffee, no freshly mowed grass, not even the weird smell of the subway on my way to work. Gone. Just like that. But I got lucky, or at least I thought I did, it eventually came back. Not right away. It took a couple of slow weeks before things started to smell normal again. And let me tell you, when it finally returned, I went a little overboard. I started smelling everything, and I mean everything. I'd pick up a candle and sniff it like it held the secrets of the universe. Even banana yogurt. Yeah, banana yogurt. I never realized how amazing that stuff could smell. It was like discovering a whole new dimension. Now, I'm not some kind of super sniffer. I can't smell someone's shampoo from across the street. But after that whole ordeal, I became more aware. I started noticing little things. Like when I hugged Emily, I began to pay closer attention to her perfume, her shampoo, even the scent of her skin after a shower. It wasn't anything weird. Just, sharper senses. That's what started everything. So one Saturday morning I was doing the laundry. Nothing exciting. Just your typical chore. I grabbed a pillowcase from the laundry basket, one of the ones from our bed, and without even thinking, I gave it a sniff before tossing it into the washer. Old habits die hard, I guess. But that moment. That exact second. Something hit me like a freight train. There was a smell on the fabric that didn't belong there. And not just any smell, it was a man's cologne. And I don't mean my cologne. It was definitely not the scent I've been using since I was 23. No. This one was heavy. Strong. Like the kind of cologne a guy wears when he's trying way too hard to be noticed. I held that pillowcase in my hand for a long minute. Just standing there frozen. What the hell was this smell doing in our bedroom? It didn't make any sense. Emily doesn't wear cologne, obviously, and no guest had been staying over. So who the hell did this belong to? And then something else clicked. We only put those sheets on the bed 2 days ago. 2 days. We usually change them once a week, like clockwork. Why would she swap them out so soon unless something happened? And right then. Right in that small cramped laundry room. The floor beneath me felt like it cracked open. I sat down on the tile. Still clutching that pillowcase. My thoughts spinning out of control. Trying to reason with myself. Maybe there's another explanation. Maybe I'm overreacting. But nothing made sense. Not a damn thing. I tried so hard to come up with a logical reason why our bedding would carry the scent of another man. And not just any man, a man who wears this overpowering, ego-drenched cologne. There was no rational story that added up. Not one. And Emily hadn't said a word about anything out of the ordinary. She didn't even act weird. But that just made it worse. Cheating. The word slammed into my chest. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to go there. But I couldn't ignore the signs. If she'd brought someone into our bed, then there was no coming back from that. No apology big enough. No excuse convincing enough. Still. If I was going to tear our marriage apart, I had to be 100% sure. No guesses. No assumptions. I needed proof. So I did the only thing I could think of. I decided to install cameras. It just so happens that my job made that part easy. I work in tech, more specifically, in the field of camera maintenance and repair. Local TV stations rely on companies like ours to handle all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Fixing lenses. Replacing worn parts. Installing equipment. Over the years, I've become kind of a pro at it. I can take apart a high-end studio cam blindfolded and put it back together better than it was before. And because of my connections, I also had access to all sorts of discreet little cameras, the kind they use on those hidden camera prank shows. Tiny. High def. Practically invisible. So I set them up. Living room. Hallway. Bedroom. I made sure they were positioned perfectly, no wires exposed, no blinking lights. She would never know. And I told myself this was just for peace of mind. Just to confirm what I already suspected. But deep down, I knew. I already knew. I got the proof. I wish I hadn't. But it's there. Clear as day. Undeniable. I had set up a few cameras around the house, yeah, even in the bedroom. And after a few long days of waiting and watching, I caught them. The sharp detail of those HD cameras left no room for doubt. His face was crystal clear. And here's the kicker, it was Matt. A guy we actually know. Not just some stranger. He's an acquaintance. A familiar face from the neighborhood. And to make things worse, he's on television. That's right. Matt is the local news anchor we see almost every night on TV. Big smile. Smooth voice. All-American image. And now, there he was. Walking right up to my front door. Kissing my wife like he'd done it 100 times. Waltzing into the bedroom like it was his own. And then. Yeah. Then they slept together in the bed I shared with her. The same bed we used to laugh in. Talk in. Make memories in. I watched just enough to know what happened. I couldn't watch the whole thing. I couldn't sit there and watch this guy with a wife and kids, betray everyone around him. I'd eaten dinner with him and his wife before. I'd seen his little girls sing at a school recital. I'd held polite conversations with him over drinks. And he was screwing my wife behind my back. It was too much. Before I ever got the confirmation, I had a whole dramatic plan in mind. I was gonna wait until Emily's birthday. Wait until the house was filled with friends and family. And then, boom. Play the video on a giant projector right in front of everyone. Expose the truth in one shocking moment. But when I saw the footage, that plan vanished. I didn't feel victorious. I felt gutted. Broken. And honestly, a little lost. I'm not proud of what I did next. I grabbed a bottle of Jack from the cabinet. Poured myself a glass. And then another. I didn't get drunk. But I definitely wasn't sober when Emily got home. I told myself I'd keep my mouth shut. Stick to the plan. Play it cool. But the whiskey had other ideas. When she walked through the door, I couldn't even look at her the same. I went quiet. Stiff. Angry. She noticed. Of course she did. The air was thick. She tried to give me space. Kept her distance. Probably figured I had a rough day. At some point she suggested we go to bed early. That's when I snapped. I shouted at her. Louder than I ever had before. I said. You seriously think I'm gonna sleep in the same bed you've been screwing Matt in? I'd rather sleep on the damn floor. The second the words left my mouth, I regretted it. That wasn't how it was supposed to go. She looked stunned. Then furious. She called me crazy. Told me I was insecure. Accused me of projecting. Said I was imagining things. Gaslighting me like it was her job. I couldn't take it. I stood up. Grabbed my phone. My laptop. My car keys. And before I left, I looked her straight in the eye and said, if I hadn't put cameras in the house, you'd still be smiling in my face. Right. That shut her up. She didn't say a word. I walked out and slammed the door behind me. I shouldn't have been driving. I know that. But I was pissed. Blinded by rage. I wasn't thinking clearly. I ended up at my brother Adam's place. Didn't say much. Just told him I needed to crash for a bit. He could tell I was messed up and didn't push for answers. He let me crash in the basement, which he'd turned into a cozy guest space. The next morning hit like a truck. My head was pounding. My mouth was dry. And when I checked the time, I realized I was already late for work. No alarm. No backup plan. Just radio silence. I called in sick. Said I wasn't feeling well. Which honestly wasn't even a lie. Then I saw my phone. Dozens of texts from Emily. I skimmed the first couple. She wanted to talk. She wanted to explain. She wanted to apologize. I didn't read the rest. I couldn't. Not yet. I wasn't in any state to play happy uncle either. Didn't want the kids seeing me like that. So I left before they came home from school. Went for a walk. Ended up at a cafe. Ordered another Jack. Just needed something to dull the chaos. I'd been sitting there maybe 15 minutes. When Matt walked in. Of all people. There he was. With a few coworkers. Laughing like nothing happened. I know. I should have just stayed in my seat. I should have looked the other way. But I didn't. I got up. Walked toward him. And said loud enough for the whole place to hear. Hey Matt. I've got a great story for you. He looked at me. And right then. I knew. Emily had warned him. You could see the fear in his eyes. But I kept going. Couldn't stop myself. I already know the headline. Local news anchor sleeps with friend's wife. Husband has the footage to prove it. What do you think? Too long? Or should I add? Gets his ass beat in a cafe. The room went quiet. All eyes on us. Before I could take another step, 3 staff members jumped between us. Stopped me cold. Matt turned and walked out with his little crew. Didn't say a word. The staff made me sit down. Kept an eye on me for about 15 minutes before finally letting me go. When I got back to Adam's place, he was waiting. Arms crossed. He already knew. Word spreads fast in a town like this. We went downstairs. Sat in the basement. And I just let it all out. Every ugly detail. I cried. I ranted. He listened. He also chewed me out for drinking so much. And honestly, I deserved it. Then he grabbed every bottle I had brought with me and locked them away. After a few hours I decided to order a pizza. That's when I realized my phone had died. Probably sometime earlier that morning. I plugged it in. Waited for it to come back to life. And as soon as it did, the messages flooded in. Missed calls. Voicemails. Texts. From Emily. From friends. Even coworkers. In the voicemails, Emily was a mess. Crying. Begging. Then raging. She said people found out after the cafe incident. Said Matt was furious. Claimed I cost him a promotion. I didn't know the full story yet. But hearing that gave me a strange sense of satisfaction. Adam's sister-in-law Amanda is a family lawyer. When he told her what was going on, she didn't waste a second. 30 minutes later I got a call from another attorney. Amanda had already filled him in. He said he'd be happy to represent me if I wanted to move forward with a divorce. All I had to do was give the word. I've got an appointment at his office tomorrow. Adam and Amanda are coming with me. I don't know where this road is going. But I know I'm not walking it alone. Franklin is a genius. My lawyer. Smart. Cool under pressure. The kind of guy who knows exactly which questions to ask to make you say what you didn't even realize you needed to say. We sat down to go over the divorce. Make everything official. Get it all in writing. He didn't push. He guided. He helped me figure out what I really wanted. And the one thing I was crystal clear on. The house. I want the house. No compromise. No debate. It's in both our names. Which means we either sell it. Or I buy her out. But she's not getting that house. I spent years on it. Money. Sweat. Late nights with a hammer in my hand. Weekends replacing floors and fixing pipes. I poured my soul into every corner. She can keep everything inside it. Take the furniture. The dishes. The curtains. She can even take the bed where she cheated. But not the house. Never the house. We also filed a restraining order against Matt. Whatever the legal term is. He's not allowed near me. Not allowed near the house. Even if I'm not home. It's my space now. My sanctuary. He's out. I still know people at the studio where Matt works. People talk. Rumor has it. That meeting he was having at the cafe when I showed up. That was a business meeting. He was about to get transferred to a bigger branch. More visibility. More money. That's not happening anymore. Apparently. Me barging in and shouting that I had footage of him sleeping with my wife. That sealed the deal. They don't want a scandal on day one. He still has his job. For now. But ratings are dropping. The higher-ups are watching. He's not as invincible as he thought. Chelsea's already been served. The papers were delivered. No warning. No softness. Just the facts. She tried to call. Of course she did. I rejected every call. Didn't even hesitate. I sent her one text. 1. Told her all communication with me goes through Franklin. Told her anything she sends me by text or email can and will be used in court. She got the message. Radio silence since then. Franklin also made it clear to her about the restraining order against Matt. And he told her I refuse to live under the same roof as her. If she's at the house. I'm not. Simple as that. She also knows. When this is all over. That house is mine. As for the cameras. They're mine. I bought them through work. Legally purchased. Legally installed. And here's the kicker. Chelsea doesn't know how many there are. Or where exactly they're hidden. And no. I haven't taken them down. She thinks I can monitor the footage from anywhere. But I can't. They're not cloud connected. They only work on the home network. So unless someone's physically there. On the Wi-Fi. They're just sitting quiet. Watching. Waiting. So far. Only 3 people have seen the footage. Me. Amanda. And Franklin. In that exact order. Amanda's officially joined my legal team. She's sharp. Focused. The kind of person who gets things done without blinking. Matt's lawyers tried to play hardball. They contacted Franklin. Demanded the footage be destroyed. We told them the law. It was recorded in my home. On my security system. They can't make me delete it. Only thing Matt can legally do is sue me if the footage leaks. Big if. But that footage. That's our evidence. It's going to be used in the divorce. To prove Chelsea's infidelity. There's no walking that back. Amy. Matt's wife. She hasn't contacted me yet. But if she does. If she wants the footage for her own case. I'm allowed to give it to her. I hope she asks. She deserves to know the truth. Same way I did. And then. Just this morning. Franklin tells me Chelsea's lawyer reached out. Said she wants to talk to me. Because she's pregnant. Yeah. That's where we are now. I refuse to do a paternity test. I will not volunteer to prove or disprove anything about the unborn child of my cheating soon-to-be ex-wife. I will not accept the child. I will not be part of this story she's trying to write where I come back and pretend nothing happened. Here's the situation. Chelsea cheated. Got caught. I filed for divorce. Case opened. No turning back. I don't want to talk. I don't want to hear explanations. I don't want to reconcile. She burned that bridge. Burned it. Danced in the ashes. And now. She tells me she's pregnant. Franklin. My brilliant lawyer. Worked out a legal path. One of those clever angles only people like him can see. Because the pregnancy was discovered after divorce proceedings began. The court will view it as happening outside the marriage. That means no assumptions. No automatic obligations. No forced paternity test. As long as no one proves the child is mine. I owe nothing. Not time. Not money. Not even a conversation. And I'm not volunteering a test. Not now. Not ever. I want nothing to do with this woman. Or the child she's carrying. According to Franklin. Even if her affair partner takes a test. And he's not the father. That still isn't proof I am. That's the loophole. No test. No proof. No paternity. No responsibility. It's not the usual story. But nothing about this has been usual. And I've got the right man in my corner. After Chelsea learned she was pregnant. She moved in with her parents. She needs help. Support. Someone to hold her hand while she cries. It won't be me. I moved back into my home the same week. The first thing I did. I bought a new mattress. Had the old one dragged out back and set it on fire. The neighbors called the fire department. But I didn't care. Let them watch. Let them ask questions. That mattress had memories I wanted erased. Now it's gone. She keeps texting. Keeps asking to talk. Keeps saying she wants to work things out. Like she forgot who she is. Forgot what she did. I'm still ignoring every message. There is no working this out. There is no fixing what's been shattered. My mother wants me to take the test. She wants a grandchild. Wants closure. But she's not naive. She says she won't see the child as her grandchild unless paternity is proven. She just hates not knowing. She's always hated silence. From what I've heard. Daniel is trying to fix things with Amy. Trying to save his marriage. And failing. Which means he won't be there for Chelsea either. So she's alone. Pregnant. With only her parents. And even their support isn't guaranteed. Her mother. My former mother-in-law. Reached out. Asked if I could find it in my heart to help Chelsea. Told her the truth. Franklin explained that if I do anything now. Anything even remotely resembling involvement. The court may interpret it as me accepting responsibility. Which means legal consequences. So no. She's not getting anything from me. But I did respect her. She was good to me. So I told her. Once the divorce is final, we can come back to the topic. Talk. Look at the situation again. I'm not promising anything. Just that I will think about it. Later. When the dust settles. Not now.